Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have a look at this sort of a base. Queen Walk Dragon Attack. Now, check out the troops. Only 5 dragons. And you're going to see pretty similar troop combination of only 5 dragons on two attacks we're going to have a look at. So, first thing, let's cover base identification on these ones. Now, obviously, as soon as you see this kind of pattern, you've got to be thinking, well, you don't have to, you can think whatever you want. You can probably take this base by hogs or some other methods, but in terms of doing a Queen Walk Dragon Attack, you see 4 air defense accessible by the Queen in some way, shape or form. You've got to be thinking, hey, that's a base that can be Queen Walked Dragoned. So the Queen Walk is going to be taking out these 4 air defenses, so they will be gone. Now, the other thing about this base that's very interesting is this moat here. It's kind of sectioning this base off. So you've got this section, and then you've got this other section here. So dragons can take one section, queen can take the other section. That's pretty well it. I think it's just best if we'll just dive straight into this one. Have a look at the troops, 4 healers, 8 loons. Keep an eye on how the loons are used as well. 3 rage spells, 1 heal spell. Okay, so we'll get into this one. Queen Walk is obviously, you know where the Queen is going to walk. I just spilled the beans on that one. So the Queen's goal is to take out the air defenses, or 4 air defenses ideally, if she can get them. If you can't, well then you kind of hope that the dragons have done a tremendous amount of work. You're going to be using the spells to keep the Queen alive and to assist the dragons as well. So obviously if you are doing an attack like this, if the Queen is going to be taking on massive amounts of DPS at the beginning, because all the air defenses are surrounded by expos and things like that, you might need to just think this a little bit through. Now you can see the king has just been dropped down on the right hand side there, and he is being used as a funnel and distraction. So you've got some minions have dropped down as well. So minions are taking that outside stuff away. King is taking some outside stuff away, distracting the dragons and distracting the archers. And that's important because, as you can see, now all the dragons have nowhere else to go, but they must come into the base. The king is taking out some trash. So you can see here now the king, minions, and baby dragon have created this nice little funnel on the right-hand side. You've still got the 3 rage spells left up. The queen hasn't had to use any. Minions taking a little bit of trash on the left as well. The clan castle has been popped by the king, breaking the radius. So now the troops that came out will go over to the queen. So she'll have to activate the special ability. But you can see with the rage spells used and the heal spell to keep the balloons up in the middle, as everything's pathing over to the queen, and now 1 more rage spell left to use. Plenty of balloons still up at the moment. Just dropping some balloons, snipe balloons coming in on the back end. Archer up the top left hand side there, you can see taking out the builder's hut, and now the queen just walking around. And looks like he's still got 5 dragons up. Now remember, he brought 5 dragons in on the attack, and he still has 5 dragons up. So he hasn't even lost a dragon on this attack. So that's how devastating this has been. So the queen has taken out that whole top side. You can see the dragons here at the bottom, 2 dragons at the bottom, and just some 3 dragons up there taking out the town hall, pathing over to the archer tower. Now, yes, he did have a dragon in the clan castle, so that was 6 dragons all up. So that's the dragon you can see at the bottom in the clan castle there. So he did bring 6 dragons all up, the one in the clan castle that also had a couple of other loons to it. Now, have a look at that again, and then we'll go over to the other one, because we're going to show 6-pack here using virtually the same combination. Now, in this particular one, there are only 12 different troop icons used. So if you're on an Android or some kind of device where you're limited to the troop icons, you can do 13. On my device, since the change of user interface, 13 icons I can have on the bottom of my screen. After that, I have to start scrolling left and right. So ideally for me, it would be fantastic for me, and I'm sure there's other people in the same situation as well, if once troops are deployed, then the icons all squish up like they do when you're rebuilding a base. When you rebuild a base, once you've used all the things, whether, let's just say you've placed all the gold mines, then the gold mines disappear. The gold mine icon disappears from your base building thing, and everything starts to squish up. So in this case, once the queen's gone down and the healers have gone on her, if the healers just disappeared from that little troop selector at the bottom, then everything could squeeze up. and then by the time you need it, possibly you won't need to scroll left or right because everything did squeeze up. Just a thought. Don't know if it's possible to implement. Don't know if it would make things harder or to get right or not. But I know that if I have to go to 14 or 15 icons on the bottom of my screen, then it starts to lag my tab because it's an unplanned for thing. Then I can't get, sometimes it won't even move. Sometimes that scroll, I can't even scroll the bar. That's how much it affects my tab. I can't even scroll the bar. So trying to scroll. Of course, you don't just press it once. You keep going, and then eventually it goes. But sometimes it means you've accidentally pressed something. A few times I've accidentally activated a hero's ability. So in the case here, anyway, rambling on about troop icons while the attack has been going on. So as you saw, the Queen came down all that left-hand side there with the minions, helping to clear away the outside trash. King taking the outside trash in the middle, making sure the dragons all path straight through that center section there, taking out a lot of the, well, taking out everything and only basically losing one dragon all up. So that is the first attack. Nice little 3-star from Naren. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Okay, just before we get into this one, your first thoughts might be, how's the Queen going to because remember what I said, as soon as you see those air defenses available to a Queen walk, you can say, well, hey, Queen can walk this. So you might be thinking, firstly, how can the Queen walk this? Well, the air defenses are all in this line here. So if you can get the Queen into this area here, if you can get her in to come through this way, she'll take out, well, this will be gone. If she's in this little section here, she'll be able to reach out, take all of this, so all of that will be gone. She'll take this and this and this, this and that. The Queen can take all of that, and you can just have some minions or whatever coming around on the outside to take out the rest of the trash. So as you can see, if you're anticipating this as part of a planning situation, the Queen will take this. You might be able to get her to take that and that as well. So essentially the Queen walk part, will take, yeah, she'll get that. And if she's inside, of course, she'll take all of that I've just highlighted. And you can see one wizard and 4 minions here. They can take out, the wizard and the minions could take out some of that sort of trash. Now that just, you can see that's just about half of the base done with the Queen walk. And that just leaves the dragons to come in over the rest of this section of the base. Now that's pointing out this way. At this point, there's really nothing out here for the dragons to be attracted to. So you could actually send the dragons in here, maybe drop the King over here. We'll see where he actually does drop the King to create a bit of a funnel. He might be dropping the dragons here to path in and then go that way. But that'll be part of the mystery. But anyway, it's the mystery until you've seen it. If you can get the Queen into this compartment here, then she's going to walk and take out everything. So let's see how he's done it. Now there are 14 troop icons on this one, so that does mean, was there 14 troop? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there is a little bit of scrolling to get that poison spell, and that's unfortunate because the poison spell is something you're more likely to use before you actually use the haste spell. So you've got to scroll to get the poison spell after you've used the wall breakers to try and break in the wall. So Archer's Expo locked on the Queen. Here come the wall breakers. Test wall breaker, nice. Too many other wall breakers coming in for that cannon to bother with it. Baby Dragon Wizard taking out the trash, so the Queen's not going to go anywhere. Lovely stuff, coming in nicely. Jump spell down. Now, unfortunately, what you're going to see here is that after the wizard goes down, the Queen will jump over to take out this barracks over here on the right-hand side. And there she goes. Now, if that barracks had been down, she might not have done that. So what that has effectively done is, because that archer went down first, and that doesn't really make any sense. The mortar should have gone down first. Then she possibly would have jumped over the other way. Now, what, of course, that meant is that she's in this outside compartment now, not the inside one, so she can't walk all the way around. And this last air defense could play a little bit of a havoc. But we'll just see. Keep watching. We'll see how that gets resolved. You've got the 3 Teslas have popped up there. Now, by the way, this was a fresh hit. The first attack you saw was also a fresh hit. So Naren was Naren's basically in beast mode in this war, just absolutely destroying this other clan with the, as you can see, they claim that no iMod on that clan. That's nice. I got to question some of their attacks that we saw in the war, but okay, let's moving on from that. Bit of a strange thing to call your clan, no iMod. So Queen Walk's come over. You can see that the dragons have all been taken out now because of that air defense. If that air defense hadn't gone down, if the air defense had gone down, the dragons would have been able to survive. We'll have a second look at this. You know it's a 3-star. Obviously, you're not seeing, wouldn't be seeing it if it wasn't a 3-star, unless I was doing a this is what went wrong video. So the king has protected the queen quite a bit, but she had healers on her, so it wasn't really going to be an issue. Abilities being used. She was always going to get that last air defense. We'll just tidy up these last 9 seconds. And it was a very long queen walk. All the dragons went down eventually. And I normally wouldn't be showing an attack that just finishes with 1 troop left over, but I thought the planning was so great. The only thing that went wrong was the jump spell was placed over that junction. If the jump spell had been placed here, the queen, you know, I don't think she would have back paddled, but she wouldn't have gone over here, and then she would have stayed in that compartment, taken everything else out. The X-bow wouldn't really have locked on her. I mean, it kind of would have until the dragons got in the area, but he had the extra rage spell for the queen, so we'll just speed that up just a little bit. So we've seen what happened with the queen walk, and keep an eye on the dragon deployment in a second. Once the dragons start coming down, there we go. There's the first dragon. CC's come out. Second dragon, third dragon, fourth, fifth dragon, 6 balloons left. And here comes balloons and CC dragon as well. King is not deployed yet. He is. He's up at the top there, trying to help keep the dragons funneled in. Now he's dealing with a couple of Valkyries that have popped out of the clan castle at the moment. Dragon's also helping there. So just King trying to take out a little bit of stuff up there. It seems to be taking a while to deal with the Valkyries. Now there you go. By using the King very smartly, it's kept the dragons inside the base, because the dragons have this tendency that they want to go outside the base. So jot down the troop combos. You're going to be bringing 4 healers, 5 dragons, a baby dragon, 7 minions and 8 loons for a 12 troop combo. 3 rage, 1 haste, 1 poison, and a heal or a jump. So the idea on this case is you're trying to have a look at a base that you can queen walk to get all 4 air defenses. That's what you're doing on this type of attack. So if you can't get all 4 air defenses with a queen walk, then try something else. But if you have any bases in your clan that you can, all 4 air defenses can be queen walk, then make up this troop combination or something very similar to it and give it a bit of a try and see how you go. So that's Naren's lovely little Queen Walk Dragon 6-pack from this war. Anyway, that is it for today's video. So we're going to have the question of the day. And the question of the day is, why did the worker at the calendar factory get fired? Why did the worker at the calendar factory get fired? Because they took a day off. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Do leave the video a thumb up. Do leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the attack or that troop combination or anything else you've used with a queen walk sort of dragon. We might experiment with that in the clan. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.